MrBeast has finally responded.
Put your hand on this Bible and swear. I'm swear. We're both from the South.
Oompaville uploaded a video titled, MrBeast's Response.
Are you gonna sue DogPack?
Well,
After months of allegations, investigations, deleted comments, and canceled interviews, we finally hear from the man himself in an almost 3 hours long interview. This is the summary of what he had to say, with more context, and why the situation is definitely not over.
The first biggest question for me and a lot of people that I've spoken to over the last couple months is like, why were you so silent?
MrBeast proceeds to explain that the reason he hadn't responded earlier was because he promised the law firm he paid to investigate him that he wouldn't respond to any drama, as it may interfere in their investigation.
and in my head, it was gonna last like 2 or 3 weeks. It ended up taking a couple months.
And that he tried recording a response, but it just wasn't his thing, and the interview felt more natural. The first major allegation they talked about was that MrBeast knowingly hired a sex offender and called him Delaware as a twisted joke because he was banned from entering Delaware.
They called him Delaware. He's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
A YouTuber called Soggy already posted a video debunking this and almost all of DogPack's allegations, and MrBeast actually refers to it quite a few times in this interview. MrBeast goes on to basically repeat what Soggy said.
He was in a video before I hired him working at Best Buy wearing a name tag that said Delaware. And like, that was public information. And like, you know, anyone could have saw that.
He basically says that he made a rookie mistake not doing a background check as he was pretty young. His name is actually Delaware, not a twisted nickname, and he was already working at Best Buy, so he somewhat expected a big company like that to have already done background checks.
There was an allegation that you used CGI to create the impression that you guys built a hospital, part of a hospital, in order to deceive viewers. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. Honestly, truthful, dumb mistake.
He says it was just a mistake as he has about 100 editors, which makes it hard to communicate with all of them, and that it was never the point of the video in the first place. They also talked about how CGI is endangering the credibility of his videos, as DogPack alleged many things were faked.
CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor.
All this, it's almost getting to the point where it's easier to believe it's not real.
He talked about how they rarely use CGI, which was proven by Soggy's video.
This pit is fake.
No, it's not. Here's footage of them digging the pit. 2 non-CGI buses and non-CGI train.
CGI.
Nope, at this timestamp they do shred an actual Lamborghini in a legitimate shred, where they did change the original red coloring to blue to make a visual distinction between the first rocket car they launched and failed, which was red.
Just having more transparency and doing behind the scenes would help. I've been wanting to do that for a little bit. It's just, truthfully, I just gotta build the team.
He also says he is willing to mark out where is CGI in his videos, if necessary, or stop using CGI altogether as they use it rarely.
The no doesn't mean no policy that was criticized, that was crazy.
MrBeast explained that it meant when asking for permission or equipment for their videos, people will say no, as they have never been done before.
If anyone's ever seen our videos, crazy things that have never been done before, right? No.
And that employees shouldn't back down, but help them make it possible. Soggy's video showed it wasn't even MrBeast's idea.
Like work culture, and there was a line in there, no it doesn't mean no.
Yeah, so I actually wrote that part. Like,
They talked about the lacking HR department, and how the investigation did find isolated incidents of harassment. MrBeast explained that he has about 400 employees total, and they can reach up to 1,000 when adding contractors. He can't really stop isolated incidents from happening, but has set a hotline for anonymous reports to help employees more easily come forward with complaints.
You know, making sure we're not fostering anything inappropriate.
With blindness video, there was a nonprofit that alleged it was not paid
MrBeast explained that the non-profit that was not paid for 30 surgeries was simply an error, as he paid in full. There was a mistake from the third party, and he later paid for everything. He also said he actually did pay for an extra 800 surgeries, which means he did a total of 1,800, and it made no sense to intentionally not pay for 30.
Team sees 3 years to remove the equivalent of 10 hours worth of trash being dumped into the ocean every day.
MrBeast asked if a firefighter saved a burning house. Would it be a waste because hundreds of houses are burning per day? And even though they removed 30 million pounds of trash, the main purpose was to create awareness, as millions of people that were influenced by the video will have a great impact.
34 million pounds of trash was removed out of the ocean. We're talking like multiple Empire State Buildings.
People noticed that on the Feastables website, it originally said that the chocolate was child labor and slave labor free, and it no longer says that on the Feastables website, and people have interpreted this to mean that your chocolate is no longer ethically sourced, and it implies that it is using child labor.
MrBeast explained that his chocolate is ethically sourced, which can be backed by their partnership with Tony's Chocolonis, which is a group dedicated to making cocoa ethically sourced. He said they even sometimes pay more than they're supposed to, so that farmers can make enough money and not need the use of child labor.
The switch from slave-free to exploitation-free. We've adapted our mission messaging to help us express the scope of impact work we do today. When Tony started, we were laser focused on one issue in the cocoa industry, but as we've grown, our areas of impact have grown too.
What if I told you that even after all the mess that has already happened, there's a chance the real messy stuff may just be getting started? But first, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. When asked if he'll sue DogPack, MrBeast had this to say.
Are you going to sue DogPack?
No, there's tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true. And
he said he owes the lawsuit to everyone affected by the disinformation. And DogPack has previously hinted that he is ready for MrBeast's response, and even a legal battle.
Obviously, when he responds is when there's going to be the highest level of visibility. So you want to have the most new evidence against him, which is what I'm kind of like stacking up right now. I mean, I have good legal backing, and like, I don't know how much I want to spill the tea on.
While winning a defamation lawsuit against DogPack might seem easy at this point, I'm not a lawyer, but like MrBeast said himself, a lawsuit will come with discovery. This is when the opposing parties are required to give up things to their opposition for them to use as evidence. A lawsuit would reveal a lot about both parties. Another reason the situation hasn't ended is his lack of adequate response for the crypto allegations.
A podcast with Logan Paul about CryptoPunks. You talk about a call you had with Mr. Gary, where you claim to have bought and or sold CryptoPunks, but then later decided to roll the money into VFriends.
MrBeast's response leaves most people unsatisfied.
I said on a podcast, called me a bunch of other people, said CryptoPunks were the next big thing. I thought it was pretty crazy, but you know, the first thing I did right after that is just called the guy in charge of the fund who invested my money in. It's other people's money as well. And just said, hey, you're a beast, and you're passionate about these punks. You should look into it, and it makes sense to buy it. And so, you know, he did the research, picked what punks to buy, bought them.
That's the basic gist. The crypto allegations are deep and complicated. You can watch CoffeeZilla's video for more info.